You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show, where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. In today's video, we will take a closer look at the forced labor allegations brought against R. Kelly, particularly by Geronda Pace. While these charges are serious and deserve careful scrutiny, we must approach them with objectivity and fairness. Let's dive deep into the allegations, the context and the evidence to determine whether the accusations hold up under closer examination. To begin with, Geronda Pace is one of the accusers who played a significant role in the legal battles against R. Kelly. She alleged that she was a victim of forced labor while associated with him, and these charges in fact did contribute a great deal to R. Kelly's conviction and the 30-year sentence. Forced labor by definition involves compelling someone to work against their will through coercion, threats or physical restraint. It's a serious accusation that carries heavy legal and moral consequences. According to Geronda, R. Kelly required her to perform tasks ranging from personal errands to intimate demands under conditions she described as oppressive and controlling. She claims that she was not allowed to leave freely, and was subjected to strict rules and surveillance. But how do these claims align with the legal requirements to prove forced labor? Let's break down the claims made in Geronda Pace's allegations. Pace has stated that she was coerced into performing tasks under the threat of punishment. However, it is important to differentiate between controlling behavior and actions that meet the legal standard for forced labor. For a forced labor charge to hold up, there must be evidence of clear and direct coercion, such as threats of violence or physical restraint that compels someone to work against their will. One critical question is whether Geronda's claims of being trapped or forced are substantiated by objective evidence. Did she have means to leave? Were there explicit threats that prevented her from doing so? While Geronda's testimony is emotionally impactful, courts require corroborating evidence to substantiate such claims. During legal proceedings, R. Kelly's defense team pointed to important inconsistencies in Geronda's timeline and statements. For instance, there are questions about whether Geronda's continued association with R. Kelly even after alleged incidents of abuse aligns with the narrative of someone being forced into labor. If she had the opportunity to leave and did not, this weakens the argument that she was held against her will and forced to perform tasks. Furthermore, the defense raised concerns about the lack of documented threats or physical coercion. Testimonies from individuals familiar with the situation suggested that these interactions may have been consensual, thereby complicating the narrative of forced labor. And this raises the question, does controlling or manipulative behavior in a relationship automatically equate to forced labor under the law? The answer is no. Even appellate judges reviewing the case expressed skepticism about the forced labor allegations. During the appeal process, they reportedly asked, "Where is the forced labor?"
Right, but the issue is the labor component, it seems to me. So what does the isolation have to do with labor? It might all be true, but where is their labor?
Their questions highlighted the lack of clear evidence tying Geronda's experiences to the legal definition of forced labor. If seasoned judges struggled to see how the allegations met this standard, it underscores the weaknesses in the prosecution's case. Another factor to consider is the role of media in shaping public perception. Documentaries and exposés, while impactful, often present one-sided narratives designed for emotional impact. And this is the importance of distinguishing between public opinion and legal facts. In the case of Geronda Pace, her allegations, though very weak, gained significant traction in the media, creating a wave of unnecessary public attention. However, the court of public opinion operates differently from a court of law. Emotional testimonies and sensational headlines can overshadow the need for concrete, verifiable evidence, which was lacking in Geronda's case. The forced labor charge is particularly complex because it requires clear evidence of coercion or physical restraint. Victims of forced labor are usually captives in a way who have been deprived of their freedom of movement, a scenario completely missing in Geronda's case. Meanwhile, in her case, much of the prosecution's argument rested on her testimony, which, while compelling, may not meet the stringent legal threshold required to prove forced labor. While Pace's alleged experiences and emotions may sound concerning, the legal system must rely on tangible evidence that proves the charge to determine guilt. The skepticism expressed by the appellate judges further reinforces the importance of rigorous legal scrutiny into this matter. Their inquiry, "Where is the forced labor?" reflects a critical gap in the evidence presented. Without meeting the legal standard, such charges risk undermining the integrity of the judicial process. As we conclude, it is essential to remember that justice requires impartiality and rigorous examination of presented evidence. The allegations brought by Geronda Pace are serious, but they must be evaluated on their merits without bias or preconceived notions. Let's continue to advocate for a legal system that prioritizes fairness and due process above anything else. According to Jamal Richardson, finally someone is taking the time to break this down logically instead of running with the media's narrative. The fact that even the appellate judges were asking, "Where is the forced labor?" says everything we need to know. If the evidence isn't there to meet the legal definition of forced labor, then why is this charge appearing on R. Kelly's indictment? It feels like this case is built more on public opinion and sensational headlines than on facts. Thank you HN for shedding light on the weaknesses in this part of the case. According to LaToya Bennett, this channel does an amazing job of looking at the facts and not just taking allegations at face value. Forced labor is a serious crime, but it requires real evidence of threats, coercion or restraint. Not just claims that someone felt controlled. Geronda's story doesn't seem to align with what is required to prove that. According to Malik Jefferson, the media painted R. Kelly as guilty from the start and so many people just accepted the story without questioning it. If the law requires clear evidence of coercion and that evidence isn't there, how is this fair? Thank you for always emphasizing the importance of due process and looking at these allegations critically. If you want to be featured in our video releases, send us your clips by emailing them to hnnewsroom242@gmail.com or use Google Drive for larger files. Be sure to include your name and any details you'd like us to know. We can't wait to showcase your contributions. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.